Hi, welcome to this latest video in the Blink tutorial series. Today we're going to look at running an efficient recall system. I'm logging in here to Blink once or Blink twice. Either one works the same for recalls. What I want to do is run the recalls on this system. But before I can, I just need to set up and configure one or two things. So if I go to System Admin, Template Management, and then click on Edit Templates. If I select the template from this drop-down list, there's already a predefined set of templates in there. You can edit these or you can create your own, but if we edit these for the time being, so we have some letters set up. I'm going to edit one or two of these just to show you how easy it is. So if I edit the diabetes letter, this template is set up to put the patient's name and address in the top left-hand corner and the practice name and address in the top right-hand corner. It addresses the patient and then sends this letter text to them, followed by yours sincerely, and puts the staff member's name at the bottom of the letter. So if I want to change any of this text, if I just want to make it a bit more general, the square brackets here, patient last RX date, will substitute in the patient's last visit to the practice or last examination. So I can make any changes I want, and then when I'm happy with that, I just click on the Save button and it will update the template. If I now want to go in and look at another one or edit another one, I can. So the standard letter, again, similar format, just slightly different content. You may want to put your own in here. If you have headed notepaper, you may want to create a little bit of space at the top of the template to allow room for the headed notepaper to take account of the headed notepaper when it's printing. Other templates that we've got in here include an SMS message template down at the bottom here. So this is obviously a lot shorter than the letter templates. 1 credit equates to less than 160 characters. So obviously we need to keep that short. The current RX template there is used as the patient's prescription record card printout. So again, if you wanted to edit any of this, it's all possible through this template management screen. Okay, so now that I'm happy that I've got my templates set up correctly, I'm just going to go into System Admin, Template Management again, and this time I'm going to edit Auto Recalls. So the way that the recall system, simple recall system works is that it takes patient types, and there are 6 patient types on the system. So we have standard patients, over 60s, diabetic, family history of glaucoma, children under 16, and contact lens scheme patients. So for each of the patient types, there are up to 5 recalls that can be defined. And for each of these recalls, we specify when the recall will be sent. So for standard patient, spectacles, first recall, here we've got it set up to be sent 21 days before the recall date. This column, next column is the column where we specify the actual template that will be sent. So this is standard patient, so I'm going to click the letter standard template and I'm going to choose to post it. Second recall, currently set up to be sent 30 days after the recall date. The template that I'm going to use is again going to be the letter standard. Obviously I could set up multiple standard letters designed specifically for first, second, third recall, etc. This time I'm going to send the recall out via email. And the third recall, which will be sent 75 days after the recall date, I'm going to send an SMS message in this case, and obviously select SMS as the method of sending. I'm not going to use the fourth or fifth recall. So I need to go through each of the patient types and set those up. I've already set it up here for diabetic. So 21 days before recall date, it sends the diabetes letter by post. 30 days after the recall date, it sends the same letter by email. And again, 75 days after the recall, it sends the SMS message via SMS. So I can go through and set those up for each of the patient types. There are 6 patient types. I can then set up the same patient types, but this time for the contact lens recall. If I want to use those and use slightly different templates, I can do. So once that's all set up, I'd click on Update to save my changes. And I now go into, well, I will in a second go into recalls. First of all, I'll just actually go and find my patient and just know how many I need to expect. So we haven't got many patients on this test system, just one, Jim Jones. I'm going to select him. And I can see here that his next full examination due date is 21st of March 2019. So if I go into the recall system and I select full examination due, yes, as opposed to contact lens examination, and I click find. Okay, it's told me briefly that there was one recall found, and because it's configured to send it as a letter, it's popped up the print preview, so I can now choose to print this letter off and send it by post. As I say, this is sending it to Jim Jones. If I can just expand that, I don't know whether you can see that, but there's the letter preview. I would now send it to my printer. Once the recalls have been sent, I'm automatically taken to the recall history screen, where I can see that my recall here was done on the 14th of the 3rd at 16:56. Gives me a reference number. It says that one recall was sent. I can choose to view the recalls here. It tells me who the patient was that received the recall, the template that was used, and a few dates, retest date and diary date, and so on. We go back to the history. I can also choose to reprint. If, for example, I had a paper jam or something in the printer, the reprint, I do actually need to reselect my template. So I'll go in and select the diabetes template there and confirm the sending method, which in this case will be print, and click go. So again, that has brought up the print preview window where I can see a copy of the letter that's being sent to the printer. Finally, if I want to reset or redo some of the recalls, I can, from the recall history screen, I can click on the reset option, which will remove those recalls from the system. So that's how easy it is to run the recalls from Blink once you've got the system configured correctly. All I need to do now is, on a regular basis, just go into the quick recall screen, select full examination due, and click find. Obviously, if I do this now, it's not found any recalls because the only patient on the system has already been recalled, and it won't redo them twice. If they don't respond, come in for an examination for a period of time set up in the configuration stage. I think it was 30 days after the recall date, then their second recall will automatically be sent